North Carolina Coops, welcome to Video Chicken. We are live right now in beautiful Creedmoor, North Carolina. You guys are in for a treat today. Standing to my right is my co-host Kristen, our chicken expert. And also joining us is our guest today, Mr. Tom Carter. Tom is the inventor of a wonderful product that we're about to unbox and learn about. And our goal today is to learn as much of this product as possible and answer any questions you have. We are very particular about all the items that we promote or sell. And basically, it's real simple. I don't want to sell anything I would not use. We have customers that have already purchased this and they love it, but I wanted to really meet the inventor, learn as much about the product, and see if this is something that we want to go ahead and start selling to you guys. So again, Kristen and Tom, thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
It's nice to
having
be
me.
here.
Yeah,
Yes. So
Thank
Tom, like I said, is the inventor right from Wilmington, North Carolina.
you. Wilmington, yeah.
Yeah, so I love that. We got a local inventor, and these are also made where?
In Smithfield.
Smithfield, North
Actually,
Carolina.
this is a 3D printed sample, but the real thing is the big one is actually rotomolded in Smithfield, North Carolina.
So that is awesome. It's not Chinese made.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
Yeah, love that. So Tom, if you could, I noticed you mentioned, yes, this is the 3D model. It's probably a little bit smaller. We got the big box that I can't wait to unbox and open up and actually show you guys, if you order it, what you'll receive. But let's go ahead, and I really want to get techie and nerdy about
Okay.
it. I love just hearing you when we first talked about the design of it and the different types of material you have. And then whenever you guys are ready, we can definitely dive into the unboxing of the actual finished product.
Sure. Yeah, it's this whole product came about because of my daughter, Katie, who lives in Ohio, and she started raising chickens and went through a bunch of different feeders and was looking for a different type of feeder. And we've been doing product design for 25 years now, I guess, and a lot of things with plastics and all. And got looking at the way most feeders are designed and thought, why is it done that way? I think we could do something a little different. So this is the smaller version, the 40-pound version. It'll be shipping in July, so it's not available yet. But we did we 3D printed this to see the size, and it's a 6-sided feeder. It holds 40 pounds, which it doesn't look like it. It looks smaller. than that.
Really?
Yeah, this whole 40
Yeah, I
pounds
did
of
take a
feed.
peek inside.
Yeah.
So I haven't even looked inside yet.
Yeah, this is just a 3D run. I didn't even take time to spend a lot of time sanding this one. But
Yeah, but this is just an example for size,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, size,
a
prototype, and if
prototype.
you're not sure what 3D printing is, it's literally printing 3D. It's this needle that's
Yeah.
going around.
How long did that take, by the way, to print?
probably all in all, probably 90 hours or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Wow,
So we printed
90
in
hours to
sections.
print this.
Yeah.
Something like that. But we also did that with the full-size version, so that we could test it with Kate's chickens and see how it worked before we started making tooling.
So now, why already offer, how many pounds go in the standard larger
big
size?
one holds 80 pounds.
80 pounds. So
Oh,
what would
wow.
be the reason to have an option that's smaller?
We've had a lot of people asking for it. Smaller coops. This one will actually mount on a post, so it sits on a single post.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You
it won't have the 4 legs like the larger feeder. And we did that for size and space, and it can either be driven into the ground with a stake, or it'll have a round base plate that it sits on. So it also makes it very rodent resistant, because if a mouse tries to climb up the post, there's a steel plate on the top, and there's no place for them to go.
Oh,
Now this is a stanchion from a pipe and drape, so ignore the base there, but it literally sits just like that on whether it's in the ground or it'll have a plate.
so you were saying if a mouse climbs up here,
There's a steel plate right there.
Oh,
so there's
they're
no
not
plastic
going to be
they
able to
can-
get
They can't
around.
go anywhere, yeah.
That is genius.
So we just thought, why not elevate it up?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say something about mice?
Yeah, look, if a mouse crawls up here, they can't
Yeah,
get
there's
in.
a plate right there. And
right back down.
so on the real product, there's actually a stainless steel plate that they would hit up underneath there, and they can't chew through it, obviously.
So, I mean, right away, you just solved a problem that is huge, especially out on the West Coast. I've never seen more mice out California, and that, we have a video from a year or two ago where there was another feeder that a customer was showing us where the chickens step on it. And one of the problems with that, even though it's a great feeder, it's mechanical. Here, there's no moving parts.
Right.
I think that's going to be awesome. By any chance, I mean, have you done research, seen them not being able to climb up?
Feedback we're getting from customers, just we've a lot of customers said it's really minimized the problem. So
Awesome.
as far as having a bunch of mice in a container and putting it in. We have not done that, but we need to do that. So.
Oh, we would have so much fun doing that.
We should do it.
You could have brought them out, the mice.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've shipped about 600 of the full-size feeder now, and just getting just great feedback from people that have it. That's the
Awesome.
post right there. That's the full-size one sitting on a post. So
Wow,
that
okay.
Stake, that stake drives into the ground, and then the collar the 2-inch tube slides over it.
All right, awesome. So, real quick, if you are just joining us, I'm not sure how many people we are up to now. We are live coming to you from Creedmoor, North Carolina. My co-host, Kristen, our chicken expert, Tom, the inventor of this wonderful feeder. We wanted to do an unboxing today, learn about the product, and this is something we're thinking about offering to you guys. And, you know, you guys know me. I want to know the nuts and bolts of everything. And Tom has so much experience designing things, and he knows plastics, and it just blew my mind all the things that he talked about that went into the design of this feeder. Especially already, you just heard them talking about preventing mice from getting up in here. Now, another thing that I have a lot of customers that have concerns about feeders with this style outside in the open elements is rain.
Yep.
How have you done any study?
Works great in the rain. We're getting a lot of feedback, and you can pour a hose, put it in pouring rain, and the feed stays dry. So
How is that?
Well, this is a drip edge. So this is designed with a drip edge here. Feel the drip edge under here. So
Okay.
any water now, blowing rain, if you had a horizontal rain,
Sure.
it could get in there. And then we've got these custom ports here that have the hoods on them. And there's only about an inch of feed in the feeder at the bottom at any given time. So even if it got wet, you're not getting all of the feed wet.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
point.
because the funnel is what channels that feed down to the ports. I'll show you the inside of the big
Sure.
one, you can see it better.
Okay, so drip edge, that is something that I think to understand what that means is that you're breaking that surface tension. It's not going to continue to run down here.
Right.
All right, you
That's
break.
why that lip's under there.
Yep. So
Feel
when
that lip
when
under
he
there.
talks about that drip edge, that water's just going to drop down. That would be another great video. Do you have any videos showing that?
You know, we shot some. I'll send you to. We took a hose and put it over it, and people have had it out in pouring rains. Kate had hers out in the rain last week, and it rained quite a bit too, and feed just stays straight.
That's
dry.
wonderful.
Again, if you had a blowing rain, we can't say
Sure.
you can't get
Yeah.
rain
Yeah.
in there.
But that feed would be
Not
eaten.
much. It'd get eaten anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah.
eaten before it could spoil.
All right.
All right, I'm excited to start unboxing the actual
Okay, let's do
product.
it.
Can we
All
go
right,
ahead and start
sure.
that?
Watch that postal forward.
Here, I can get you all this. Here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready for the box?
We're ready.
I love this. Look at this. So real quick, I'm just gonna sneak right in front of the camera. I'm gonna take a shortcut. So this is how it would come right to your doorstep, and you ship these all. Yeah, I was ready for you. Someone already found the box cutter. Now you're printing your own stickers, right?
Right, yeah.
That is awesome. And you got it in a cardboard box, and we got the feeder inside. Now this comes. You said something earlier about you have flat rate shipping all around the United States, or how does the shipping work?
Well, right now we're
receive
doing
this?
free shipping on the pre-orders, and as of next week, we'll be caught up with all the pre-orders. We're waiting for the next batch of funnels to come in from our vacuum former in Asheville, and then everything will be caught up, and then we'll be shipping the day somebody orders.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because we launched this on Kickstarter in November, and I think we had about 300 pre-orders, and by the end of Kickstarter, and then we've had another 300 since then, so we're just now getting caught up. So
Wow.
That's great.
That is awesome.
the idea is ship them the day, you know, within
That's a
one
great
business
idea,
day.
isn't it?
That sounds familiar. I think we're trying to do that with chicken coops. That is the idea. Absolutely. So yeah, let's go ahead. And actually, if Kristen,
He's using the key method. I just
Well,
wanted to point
okay.
that out, and I like that. Go ahead.
Normally, the tape that would be on this box is a reinforced craft tape, but I boxed this one at my daughter's house, Kate,
Yeah.
and all I had was our regular old.
Okay.
shipping.
Yeah, no, we love that craft because it has like string in it. It's a lot stronger.
Really, really durable.
We also have some questions. I don't know if you
Yeah,
want to get
fire
into
away
them.
with the questions.
Okay. So somebody was asking the height of the feeder and what's the optimal height for the port, which maybe you can explain as you take it out.
Okay, yeah,
We
we've
could-
got telescoping legs, or actually legs that have extensions to them. So if you have bantams or small chickens, you can set the bottom of the port about 9 inches off the ground. Add a 4-inch extension, you're at 13, which kind of fits regular sized chickens. Or you can add another one if you've got Brahmas or bigger birds and set it 17 inches off the ground. So
Wow.
so we made it where you
Adjustable.
can adjust it, made it where it's adjustable.
Yeah,
that's a
and
great idea.
if you have a mixed flock, you would just put it on
Kind of an average height.
average
Yeah,
height. You can
average
always
height.
add a block for a step stool for those little bantams.
Right, yeah.
So let's get a shot. I want to get, here we go. Look at that. All packed nice.
And we,
Okay.
we ship it with a lid attached to keep the box size down, because if we did this, now we're
Yeah.
adding
Yeah.
dimensional weight to the box, so that it saves on shipping costs.
Great idea there. I can take all that from you.
Any piece?
And I could say Tom has great shipping costs, so.
We do.
And that's it. Wow, okay. Box is empty.
Okay.
I feel like getting a copy over here.
Yeah. So anyway, it comes with the hardware, the legs and everything, but the inside, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep, you're right
actually,
there.
yeah, give me
You're
one
perfect. That's
second.
perfect.
Let's see if I can screw everything up.
Sorry?
Oh, great.
All right, I want to get a good shot. The
Kinda dark.
lighting could be really tough if you want to hold that up.
Yep.
And
So there's the funnel inside,
Yeah, you can see that.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of the key that makes this whole thing work. It's part of our, we've got a bunch of patent claims on this thing, but that's, the funnel is the vacuum form part, actually made up in Asheville, North Carolina.
What do you mean by vacuum form?
It's a different process. They take a sheet of plastic and they heat it and it sucks it down into the mold and then they trim it. And so
Okay.
that's a vacuum form part, and this is all rotomolded.
Okay.
So now we
Have you
could
been doing this kind of work for a long time?
my industrial designer is in Cary. I told you about Brad, Brad Forrest, a company called Idea Logic. And Brad's been doing our engineering for probably over 20 years or longer. And he's designed a ton of he's the one with the brains, not me.
Okay.
So but I can take an idea to Brad, we'll sketch out what we want to do, we'll prototype it, and our main business is the trade show display business. So we've
Okay.
patented a lot of products for the exhibit industry over the years.
Interesting.
So, but anyway, so that's the funnel. And then this part's all rotomolded here. And then what happens when you get it, put the lid on it, and there's let me just take everything out here.
That looked pretty easy.
Yeah,
And you said this one holds
80 pounds.
80 pounds.
Yeah.
That's great. You can
80
go on.
pounds of feed.
You can go on vacation.
Yep.
Well, unless you got 80 chickens.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was asking how long a 40-pound would last.
Oh, it just depends
For
on
the flock
if they
of-
free range and how many chickens you have.
He's got 8. And they free range kind of like mine. He's got a
Yeah, so
backyard.
you've got about that many. So how much time does that last for you?
I don't even know.
I know,
Yeah,
that is a
it's-
question we get all the
There
time.
are
and it's just
variables.
so
There
hard
are.
to answer it.
There's more. They go through more of it in the winter because there's less other
Yeah.
things for them to eat. So, but I don't know. I
At
must
least
feel.
a week, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I was gonna
okay.
say closer to a month.
All right, so
A
what are
month.
the legs made out of?
These are aluminum.
Aluminum.
Anodized aluminum.
Now, what do you mean by anodized aluminum? What does anodized aluminum mean?
It's a chemical process that protects the aluminum. You can either powder coat or anodize. Anodize is used on a lot of aluminum products that you'd have out
So
in
that
the
makes them
furniture.
exterior rated.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, and it's
I
not
love
going
the
to rust.
little rubber foot at the bottom.
Yep.
That is awesome.
So what I'm doing is I'm putting one leg extension on these.
Okay.
So if you had just average sized chickens, this puts your port about 13 inches off the ground. Okay.
Yeah, and somebody on Instagram thought that 10 inches would have been better, but
I saw that. Yeah. And
Yeah, but-
you're at 9. You're at 9 with the without this extension.
right,
Yep.
which is
And
great.
chickens do have extendable necks, so they can eat off the ground. They can eat at a lot of different levels. So
Yeah.
but I don't think the height really is really a critical
Out of the
point.
600 we shipped, we've
Yeah.
had probably 8 or 10 or 12 people, maybe at the most, that said the chickens are dragging the feed out. And we hadn't seen that happen, and we found that they had it set too low, that if they raise it up
Oh,
and they
okay.
have to reach for it, it really minimized the drag out. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So
The
anyway.
drag out. We got a new chicken term.
Oh, our
Food
bill
drag
outlet.
out, feed drag out.
So these just slide right into the.
This is so much easier than IKEA furniture. I'll tell you that right now.
Here, you want to stick one of those in?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Kristen, grab a leg.
It goes right in. You just gotta get the angle right and it goes right in. Put the angle out there.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go, yep.
Yep, that's it.
And then one more.
Perfect. We got Gus coming in. Don't mind him. He's just
Yep,
part
there
of the
it
show. He's got to check everything out.
And that's the feeder. With one set of extensions on it.
All right, and this is the size of the next.
Yep, 4 inches, if you wanna
Okay.
go up for taller birds.
Okay.
Or
Interesting.
turkeys. People with turkeys you're using.
That was very easy to assemble.
Yeah, and the only other thing is the bolt. There's a bolt that goes right in here.
So yeah, that would allow you to flip the lid like that.
Yep,
And
and
does it?
it just comes with a quarter
Yeah,
inch,
and
comes
then
with
when
a
it-
quarter-inch bolt.
Does it? When you open it, does it?
Actually, it'll go all the way back, so.
Oh, it'll go all the way. Okay.
So,
Oh, you got it already.
yep. I put the nut on there.
Yeah, tilt that up.
Okay, so now the. and
That
you
was a
just-
very easy-
Just tighten the lid down.
Yep.
Oh,
With the.
no, that is great too for full access for feeding.
Yep, yep. So there's
Loading.
the
Oh,
lid.
perfect.
When we first started designing it, we had people asking about making it lockable, so we added a lock plate here, so you can use a carabiner or a lock or whatever you want, twist tie or whatever. And then it comes with feed port covers. So the other thing people were asking for was, can they close it at night?
Oh, yes, perfect.
We had actually already designed the ports when they started asking for that, but I can do it with it. Can you see it on camera here? See what I'm doing.
And why would somebody want to do that, Tom?
Yep. Keep raccoons out.
Yeah. If you don't have it in your enclosed space,
Yep.
if you have it for free ranging, that
Yep.
that would keep the night critters out.
Or if people don't want their birds eaten out of it, if they want to close it up
okay.
at some point, you know, during the day or whatever. So these just snap right in. These are CNC cut port covers. There you go.
Oh, nice.
And there's a recess in the ring there that it snaps into.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to share your video of the.
Yeah, we're at Kate's house and had a raccoon. We didn't cover the ports, and she's got a Ring doorbell camera. And the first night,
I'm
the
not doing
raccoon's
it right.
eating out of it.
There we go.
The second night, we put the feed port covers on it, and he walked up, looked at it, and then wandered away.
That's great.
Just get the beginning part. You can see him.
Yeah, he didn't spend any time, and he knows there's feed in there because he was there actually
Oh,
2
yeah.
nights earlier eating out of it because we didn't cover it up. So,
How long has Kate's chickens been using the feeder?
4 months, 5 months,
Um,
maybe longer.
Have you noticed that they're losing feathers on their head from rubbing that?
No,
top of
not
that.
We've noticed. No, we
Okay.
haven't noticed
Well,
that.
that's
Now,
good.
this is a soft. You know, we did these intentionally out of a soft material. It's called TPE, and we wanted to make it a soft touch port. But
Right.
we have not seen that. Now, if
Yeah,
anybody's seen that, let us know. Please.
That's something that has happened if you're making your own PVC feeders that have the same kind of
The hard
functionality.
plastic.
If your diameter is too small, the feathers rub
Got it,
off their like face or head. But these look plenty big enough.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made a PVC feeder when we started, and if anybody's seen the video, when you look down in the container, they can only eat what's right in front of the PVC pipe. They can't get under it. They can't get beside it because it's a plumbing elbow. And that's, you know, kind of drove the design. Is like, why not put the ports underneath the body so the rain doesn't get the feed wet, rather than the feed troughs being outside of the body. And that's really what drove the silo shape for the design.
And a lot of people don't realize how much that costs to build those PVC feeders. I mean, I don't know, how much were they? I mean, they were just, when you'd go to the store to buy that PVC, all those PVC parts, it adds up, and it's not, for a DIY, it's not cheap.
No, it definitely
And
is
you
not.
solve the problems that we're seeing with those.
Well, that was, again, that's kind of what,
Yeah.
that was the whole, what's the checklist of the problems? What can we solve? The idea of them perching on top, typical feeder, they perch on top, and then they're messing up the food, so we designed this lid so they can't perch on it. So,
Have you actually seen them try?
we
They
tried.
slide off?
Kate's set hers up there to see, and no, they don't stay on it.
Kate's watching, by the way.
Hey, Kate, I made it.
She said you're doing great.
Oh, okay. Wish you were here.
So real quick, okay, I wanted to get back to this. So you also designed this personally.
Oh, yeah.
And I see a lot of things going on here, and I'm not sure if I missed it, but I wanted to make sure that we talked about underneath here. Is that what another way that prevents we call it drag out?
That's exactly what that is. Kate's got 3 ducts, and we were testing the early prototype, and the original ring was round, and they were dragging the feed out.
Ah,
So we looked at it and took a little piece of cardboard and taped it up and said, what if it has a ledge on it? So that's why that lip is there to help with that. So
That is awesome. So then this, I didn't get to catch
Yep.
how you did that.
yeah, the square part goes on the. It can go in either way actually. It doesn't really
Oh,
matter.
and you just stick it right in there.
Just snap it in. Yep.
Oh, that is slick. Okay.
Because
here's
that's
the-
something
here's the
customers were
ducts.
asking for, which we had not designed into it originally.
is
So-
that right?
That's something I didn't ask. I didn't think about till just now. Will other birds like ducks, turkeys, be able to use something like this?
Yeah, I may have sent you some photos of.
Yep, I got
some
the
of
duck one up
customers, yeah.
now.
Ducks, turkeys, any kind of bird that can reach it, I think.
So this is the feeder.
Yeah.
So
that
here
was
it
the first time
is.
you've seen it, yeah.
This is I have not seen this before. Again, this all started with. Can we do something real quick?
Sure.
Let's go ahead and take the legs off. Let's drop this down. But I want to keep the main feeder in front of us.
You get the water out of here.
And just more as a prop, if you will. Oh, we got one more leg, sorry. All right, so let's set this down. And put these legs right here. And that was the other thing, too. I mean, that is awesome. We always...
Is that Kate?
That's Kate.
That's
Yep.
Kate right there. I love that you have the ability to lock that with a carabiner, padlock, combination lock.
Yep. And we textured it too. The other thing, it's got a sandblast texture, so it's not shiny, shiny plastic. It also has a UV stabilizer. A lot of people ask about that, and it's called UV8, and it's the company Inventor that rotomolds they do a lot of playground equipment and the swimming pool equipment. So all the plastics they use have UV8 in it, and it's you can look it up, but it's tested under UV light for like 8,000 hours, and without any significant fading. And one of the things they point out is it can be used in Florida sun for 4 years without any major degradation of the plastic. So, and it's high density polyethylene.
Well, we know that term a lot.
Ah,
yeah.
that's
And we chose to rotomold this instead of blow molding it. It could have been a blow molded product, but with rotomolding, you end up two things. You end up with thicker parts wherever all this, it becomes thicker when you rotomold. If you blow mold, it becomes thinner because you're pushing the plastic out. So it makes a more durable product. And
So when you say rotomold, we're literally injecting resin, and then it heats it up into a mold.
yeah, they're not even injecting. It's a mold that they open it and they dump. Dump
wow.
the powder in there. They dump the resin in it, close the mold up. It goes into a furnace, and it's on a rotating arm that rotates, in two different axes.
Gotcha. So that's just like how they do cast iron almost, but they take sand and they have a master mold and they dump the hot metal in there and.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So somebody had asked, and I think I know the answer, but someone asked, wouldn't a raccoon just try to push it over like they do trash
This
cans?
thing's pretty stable.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
if got
stable and
food in it,
heavy.
yeah, and they
4
could
feet,
try.
yeah.
Or if
And
it's,
with the weight.
and if it's on those legs, there's no way they push it over because it's in the ground. If it's on the post.
Right.
Right. I did like that angle of the legs. It was I noticed how it just displaces that, making it very difficult to tip it over.
Yeah, and we intentionally made those legs stand outside of the diameter of the body for stability. So.
I do want to put the smaller one next to
Oh,
it
yeah,
for
okay.
comparison
Cool.
purposes.
Yeah, so the smaller one would be great inside people's run area,
Yep.
whereas the big
think
one would
it's
be
good to
great
see
if you're
side by
outside.
Yep.
So real quick, I just want to mention again, if you're joining us, maybe just joined 15 minutes ago, we are live right now in Creedmoor, North Carolina. Standing to my right is Tom Carter, the inventor of these wonderful feeders. And of course, we got Kristen, our chicken expert.
Say the name.
Here. And
CoopWorx.
we were just going over two different sides. Oh, yes, and I forgot to mention Ingrid. Yes, of course, Ingrid.
No,
is
I just want you to keep saying the CoopWorx.
Oh, I'm
say-
sorry. I thought she said, and me.
No, say
Yes, of
the
course, we
name
got
of
Ingrid
CoopWorx.
over there doing her thing, making this show possible. Chris, if you want to just push that mic out just a little bit out of your way if you want. Yeah, just that way it's
Oh,
not.
I think it's fine.
Okay. We're going over in detail this wonderful feeder. We were showing off a customer of ours, Coop, out in Southern California, and he just happened to have this on his property, and that was the first time I saw it. I was like,
he actually had a video of on Kate's property, but Matthew's ordered one of these. So the video was actually shot at Kate's house that he was showing because it was these two feeders side by side.
oh no, we were showing off one of our
Is it
Coops.
Christian Matt Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Yes, Matt. I was thinking that that the video clip was the clip from Kate's.
No, we actually were showing pictures of his chicken coop,
Cool. Good.
and he had this feeder for his chickens, and we're like, right away, and I'm.
Whoa, what's that?
Well, so I kind of want to. We went over some details, but first thing is I love how this thing looks.
Well, thank you.
You
I do
know,
too.
you can go and do many different ways to hold feed. I love the idea. Can you just real quick, what was the inspiration for the color, the style, the design? I mean, in the name is a feed silo. I got to imagine that this reminds me of those old silos right at the farm.
Yep. Real iconic shape. The first thing probably was we wanted the feed ports to be under the body. So immediately we had a body that was bigger than the ports. And we knew we needed a gable roof. We built one out of plywood at our shop and just cut it on the table saw and slapped it together. And so I called Brad and I said, Brad, we got a project. And this is over a year ago. And I could show you some of the early sketches of how we started, and it didn't look anything like this, but it evolves over time.
A year is not even that long, really.
Yeah, you got a lot done pretty quick. I'm kind of jealous.
We were at my son and my wife and I were at a microbrewery in Raleigh, and we walked out and there's a silo sitting in their parking lot, and it had corrugated.
Was that
had
trophy?
corrugated metal. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And it's got the silo out front. It probably was
Yeah.
trophy. And I took a picture of it and sent it to Brad, and I was originally thinking this would look like wood planks or something, and Brad said, I'm kind of digging the corrugated, and I said, well, let's see what it looks like. And as soon as he put it in SolidWorks, I was like, okay, nailed it.
Yeah. That's funny.
We have a
These
couple.
ribs are designed for strength, to add strength because anytime you add contours and ribs, you're adding strength.
Yeah, it is a stouty, heavy-duty device, which I like. I can't stand the cheesy, easy break apart thing, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to see it in person before we start promoting it. And the other thing too is, we often see anything that we want to lure chickens to when it comes to at least water is red. Was that the reason why maybe the ports were red and encourages them to come check it out, right?
They were attracted to red, so red was logical. And then we used some gray. We wanted a neutral color that wasn't too dark. And
Yeah, that's really just going to fade into the background.
exactly.
And I like that. I like the chickens to be front and center, when you look outside and not really your
And it looked great with the
feeder.
roof of your coops too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is true. We're gonna be talking business. I like it. Kristen, what do you think?
I love it.
Yeah, I can see this being something I would love to add to our arsenal. And it's not just because it is a great product. I love great products, but I tell you, Tom, I love that not only are you're making these right here in America, you're making it right here in North Carolina, where we are so proud to be back in North Carolina with our other shop. And I am proud to say that, if we, when we start selling these, our customers will love them. And I love how much they value our opinion. And this is why, we don't just, we have people contacting us all the time. Hey, Matt, push this. No, I'm not going to do that. No matter who they are, I love when you love what you do. You stand behind it. You're one of those people that I love that aren't like, oh, I'm so smart, I'm so great. You're just like, my daughter had a problem and I solved it, and boom, here it is. And we're gonna be able to share this.
Yeah, she was involved every step of the way too. So a lot of what you see was Kate's input and ideas too. So it was a collaboration between the three of us.
Were we able to bring Kate on? We were gonna see if we can sneak her on.
No, she didn't bite on the link.
Okay, so we did
But-
send her a link. We thought it'd be really cool.
Maybe it worked.
Yeah.
To bring her on.
But-
I imagine we have some questions. I'm not sure how we're doing on time. We're already
at-
halfway through the show.
Yeah. So I just want to say one thing is that it's interesting how Tom's design is very purposeful, just like your coops are designed with purpose behind. So it looks good and it has purpose.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that because
And when people ask me, when they're setting up their coops and getting their first chickens, and they ask me, what kind of feeder should I get? I always say, I don't see anything wrong with the galvanized gravity feeder, because I've seen a lot of lot of different kinds of feeders. I even have like a square one with a rectangle one with flip up lid. But this solves the problems. I mean, those are fine, and I've always recommended them because there really wasn't anything better. And now I see that there really is something better.
Well, absolutely.
You solved a few problems that I have with the ones that I'm using.
Right.
So the one with the flip up lid, it flips up backwards, and you're trying to pour feed in there, and it's falling back down, and
Well, I've got one for you, so you get to use it.
oh yay!
Right. So here's the other thing too, where I can see how this can be incorporated in the big picture, where we are huge fans of free ranging. And one of the concerns people always have about having chicken feed inside their run is that you're going to be attracting rodents. And that is true. You are now giving them a reason to try to come there. We want to prevent it. But since we are huge advocates of free ranging, and you're going to be able to set this up somewhere out in your yard and get it away from the home area, and that is so important because when you are giving pests, in this case mice, a reason to come near a structure, you're doing two things that is a no-no. Give them a reason to come there with food, and then give them a place to harbor. This is a way to make sure they're not harboring, because it's the harboring that can get you in trouble, because then they're safe from predators and they can start reproducing. So there is just, another great reason why I love the idea of having the feeder out of the run, and especially if you can free range. Now, we did talk a little bit, I wanted to go back to it, is for our customers, and there's a bunch of them out there that say, Matt, you're crazy, I'm never free ranging, can't do it. I love that, these will easily fit inside our run, but I wanted to just kind of clear up that you're going to be coming out with a 40-pound model that'll be on a single pole, okay? But this one, is it available on a pole or just the legs?
Pole or legs, either one.
Okay, see, because I
No,
don't...
you mount this on a post. There's a picture of it on the post. But
Okay, that's what I
yeah,
thought, and this would fit...
An option. You can do this one either way. So.
Yeah, this would fit perfectly in our runs because this is the one time, yes, size does matter. Our coops are huge. That is one of the most important things when it comes to designing your chicken coop, building your chicken coop, or if you're shopping. You got to have a big coop, especially if you cannot free range.
Actually, and you know what? That allows for ground space underneath. You're not losing that ground space by having a cinder block and a feeder on top of it, and then that takes up all that space.
Yep.
They actually can go under that.
Yeah, and this is only 19 inches across, and it sits up, and they can go right under it. So
Yeah, that's another great point.
the reason we didn't put legs on this, it's six-sided. We didn't have a convenient way to put four legs, and it would just crowd it too much with the birds trying to get to the. This has 6 feed ports, so these are the exact same ports as this, same size. We didn't make one smaller, but it's got 6, and that drove the size. And we thought, well, if this is 80, let's make this 40 pounds. We'll call it CoopWorx 2.
And it also gives people an option. This is where you store your feed, because people always say,
Oh, yeah.
you don't want to store your feed, or you put it like I have it in a galvanized trash can, so you can put a whole bag of feed in there easily.
Yeah, and that's what Kate was doing. She'd dump a 50-pound bag of feed in her feeder, and she'd have to go store the rest of it. She
Right.
had a big blue container, and then the rats were eating through it and all. I said, well, let's just design it enough that before it's empty, you can put a 50-pound bag in it.
So some of your customers are commenting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, that's awesome.
Well, there's, this one I love, and Paul, I can't I don't have good glasses. But anyway, he said, I got my wife a chicken guard door for our anniversary. Better than a vacuum, right? Well,
Much better.
but now I just bit the bullet and ordered this.
Nice.
So he just ordered one.
So speaking of ordering,
Yeah.
we were talking, I know that's going to be a hot question. How much is it? Where do I buy it? And Tom is offered some great deals. Can we talk about that? We talked about, and this is where it gets over my head a little bit, but I think you and Kristen understand it better than I do. The promo deals coming up, and just get into that so that people know where they can order it right now. And then, I definitely see these on our website, being able to purchase from us. And of course, we would love to be able to get it out there, promote it to more people. It's going to help your business, help our business. But if they were to order today, what is the price and where would they go?
This one's, you order it from our website, CoopWorxUSA.com, and it's $195 with free shipping. So,
Wow.
and we're doing the free
Anywhere in the country,
shipping.
free shipping.
Anywhere in the U.S., yeah.
Anywhere-
Continental U.S.
Oh,
And we have
okay.
discounted rates for Canada. We've shipped, we just shipped 24 of them to British Columbia. So we can ship anywhere, but the free shipping is continental US.
Okay.
So, and we're doing that is because they're still technically pre-ordered. When people started ordering on Kickstarter, we weren't even shipping until February. So
Right.
they were buying in November for a February ship date. Now, as of next week, all of the 600 units will be shipped. I think we've about 35 more, so anybody that's just ordered, yours will be shipping next week. And we're just waiting on the next batch of funnels. We've got another 100 feed funnels coming from our vacuum former. So the bodies are all there, all getting all assembled. So
Assembled right in Wilmington, North
yeah,
Carolina.
assembled.
That
There's
is
a lot
awesome.
to the assembly, more than you would think, because when it comes in,
Yeah, I was looking at that.
yeah, when it comes into us, the lid is actually part of the body. So the lid's cut off, then this is routed, then this is attached here. These are all trimmed and flamed. This has to be trimmed.
Now, what do you
and
mean by
flamed.
flamed? Tell us what does that mean?
Trim polyethylene to give it a nice finished edge. You
Yeah.
get a blowtorch and you just run
Oh,
around
wow,
the edge,
okay.
and it melts just enough of it to give it a nice, smooth, soft edge. The feed funnel
Versus the deburring tool. What we have to do with our high density when it comes off the CNC, we have that thing, has that little tiny ball, and you
That's what we do. Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
do. We trim it with that, but then we come hit it with a flame.
Oh,
What it does,
wow,
it really
okay.
softens that edge.
Yeah, I was noticing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That is awesome.
See how smooth that is?
Yeah.
And then you got that funnel that is made in Asheville, North Carolina.
Yep, company called Asheville Vacuum Form Plastics. Hi, Bill. Looking for our shipment next week. So
That is awesome.
they're actually in right outside of Asheville.
So if people were to order it right now, $195, then go right to your website. But I believe there's a promo, so we can get a little bit of credit.
Yeah, we set a promo.
So
up.
talk to us about that promo.
It'll give anybody that orders using your promo code, which we set up as Carolina Coops,
Okay,
and save you 5%, save you $10 on it.
Wow.
Technically $9.75.
that's awesome.
And and it keeps track. It's a Shopify website, so it keeps track of that for us.
So if they go to CoopWorxUSA.com and order this and put in where I'm sure it says promo code,
yep.
put in Carolina Coops,
you
they
get a
will
5%
get
discount,
they'll get
$10 discount.
$10 off of that. That is
And free
awesome.
shipping, so-
And free. Man, I tell you, I got to learn more about that free shipping. We have dabbled with free shipping. We're gonna get back to free shipping with that with our industrial account, but that is a whole nother beast.
And we're only going to do the free shipping until we can ship the same day somebody orders. That's when we'll start charging for shipping. That's why I said it's still technically they're pre-ordering, and
Yeah.
but as of next week, all of the orders will be filled. So,
Okay,
And
so
you're
they
gonna
want to
save
get.
so much money on feed, really.
I had somebody the other day
Over
say that they
time.
were filling theirs every 7 days, and now with this, they're filling every 9 days. Same amount of feed. So
So it pays for itself. Is what
would
that tells
think
me.
so.
When it
Over
saves you that
time,
money,
yeah.
yeah, over time it pays for itself.
And they can order both sizes?
you can pre-order this one for $150. It's not shipping till July. The tooling's already been ordered, so tooling's being made, but it won't be shipping till July. And that'll also include free shipping. So we've got
Okay.
people ordering this in advance because they want to be first in line
Right.
when it ships.
Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully that made sense. And I definitely look forward to doing business. We have about 20 more minutes before my guys are going to start working out in that shop, making a lot of noise. So I want to make sure, we do this show free for all our listeners, our viewers, all our fans out there. So I want to make sure we take some time. If there's any more questions, comments.
Someone asked can you explain how the funnel works? I think it's hard for them to
Yeah,
see it.
I could have brought a funnel with me separate. I didn't have one with me, but that's a molded funnel. And again, it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of dark in here.
No, we can see.
But it's a molded funnel that is
It really looks like a kitchen funnel
does.
upside down, right?
Right. And there's where the legs mount in as part of the rotomolded body, but then the funnel locks in on top of the legs, which adds even more strength to those legs. So this thing's,
Yeah.
matter of fact, we were at Invacor in Smithfield. I got a picture of Steve, the owner of the company. He said, "Let's test the strength." And he goes and he sits in the thing in the parking lot, and it didn't budge. So,
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. You can
And-
see the shot.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I really wanted to show off the inside, so we're
Yeah.
gonna drop some lighting.
there may be a slide too in there of the funnel, the cutaway
Yeah.
with the funnel.
And the important thing about the funnel is you don't have feed getting stuck on the inside.
Right.
I mean,
right.
you have all the feed
Oh, there you
going.
go.
being
Yep.
diverted to the feeding ports, so you
Right.
don't have a dead area where you have feed getting old.
Correct.
Inside.
Yeah, if you let it go dry, there's nothing left in it. When they pick it dry, they can get every bit of feed, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
And I've seen that be a problem in other feeders,
Mhm.
especially DIY feeders, so that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
and that's why we designed, and also that's post in the center. This bottom part right there, there's the cone. So the feed hits the cone and spreads out. And that also gives us the mounting bracket for the,
Okay, so
So it
that's
serves
the
two
inverse of the
functions.
cone that's inside, okay.
Yep. So when we mount it on the post, it actually goes up inside there.
Oh.
It sits on a steel plate right here. And then a tube goes up inside, which just makes it incredibly sturdy. And then these pockets here are designed for the, you can see the shape of the pockets for the feed to sit down in.
How many ports are there?
8 and
Wow,
6 in
yeah.
this one. Yeah, Brad just
That's
does
really
such a
nice,
great, Brad just
yeah.
does such a great job on the little details and contours and
And
things.
this is nice here.
Would the pole work, is it the same size pole for either size? So if
Uh,
somebody,
No, this has a 6-inch diameter steel plate. This one has a 5-inch just because it's smaller. We looked at trying to use the same one,
okay.
but we had to just because of size make that plate a little bit smaller.
And if they were to order the large one, do you have the option of pole or legs,
Yep.
or does it,
Just
or
specify
both?
on the
Okay,
website, just either pick the pole or the adjustable legs. and
Okay.
you'll
Okay.
we'll ship it out either way.
Can you do both? Pay extra? Get
It's
both?
$25 for a set of
Oh, nice.
legs if they want both options, so.
I like that flexibility.
Yeah, yeah. I will say the legs outsell the post more than I would have thought. But a lot of people go with the post, but the legs are real popular. They can just pick it up and move it in different parts of their yard.
Oh, yeah. What is, what are the pluses and, I mean, what kind of factors would go into play when you're trying to decide legs?
I would think,
I mean, that's one that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
that you can, it's more mobile if you have the legs.
Mhm.
Okay.
Probably even more rodent resistant, again, because they can't climb. They'd have to jump from the ground into the ports. Right now, a mouse would have to climb up the leg and jump into the port, and we
Yeah.
haven't seen that happen. So if anybody's got video, we could see, we'd love to see it. But it's really just a preference. It takes up less space. If you had a smaller coop, it takes up less space.
The legs take up less space?
No, the post.
Post, okay. Oh, yes, because they're
Yeah.
coming out at an angle.
Mhm.
Okay.
There was I was doing a little sneaking around earlier, reviewing questions, and there is a great question that I can relate to.
Okay.
One of my things that I've been working on for the past couple years that I feel is going to be very popular in the future is people are, we all know chickens are the gateway drug. They're the gateway homesteading farm animal. And then we get into the ducks, and then, of course, goats. And then, for me, pigs and turkeys and whatnot. So what I'm trying to do is make it so that you can have like a community area where all the animals come out all happy and there's no conflict and fighting over food. But we know, especially with goats and pigs, can be a nightmare. You want to make sure they can't get access. So trying to figure out so that the chickens or the goats or whatever can get to their designated food area without causing problems. Goats especially, they love chicken feed. And one of the questions was, have you ever done or seen or had a customer use this for their chickens around goats, and were the goats deterred from trying to get in there, or is it still probably something that we have to...
We haven't heard on that. I don't think I've heard. I know people have goats with it, but we haven't had anybody saying it's been a problem. That one lady said her horse ate her
Sure. Oh, and the goats will too. I mean, that is one of the things that, I'm trying to do the impossible. I now know why so many farms have all these animals separated. I just, in my perfect fantasy world, I love seeing all the animals together, and they're supposed to go back to their designated home. But goats have chewed up the wires to the heating element for our chicken waterer. But I'm adamant at trying to figure out a solution.
If anybody has one, I'd love to hear the comments on it. So
Absolutely. I thought that was an interesting question, if it would deter the goats.
And we did just redesign these. The original ports that shipped out, we had some of the first 25 or the first 50 units, the ports were pulling out too easy. And because the lip on at the back wasn't big enough, so we redesigned the port, went to a different material, and it's got a lip on there, you can't pull it out. I mean, you got to flex it to get it out. So we've already sent, I think, the first 50 The first 50 people that bought it have already gotten new ports with instruction on how to assemble them. So,
Oh, that's great customer service.
and
Yeah.
we're just trying to be proactive on it. So,
Well, see, and that's where I can relate. I love that our viewers right now have direct contact with people that are part of the invention, the designing, and improving it. You know, wouldn't you love to be able to do that with many other products where you just can't get to them? And that's what I love about this show, and that's what I love working with people like you that have, the ability to say, hey, here we are, we're the designers, and we want to hear from you because we love to do this,
yeah,
right?
customer feedback's a great way to.
Yes, when we love to solve those problems, we always want to continue to make things better. And again, this is just, I knew it was going to be a great product. And definitely I'm looking forward to being a part of your success and being able to offer these to our customers.
Yeah.
And of course, too, the other nice thing is I can see these going out with the chicken coops. And I thought about even doing our own internal promo where if a customer is a coop customer and they buy one of these, giving them a special discount,
Sure. Yeah.
things like that.
And y'all's coops are just such incredible looking coops. My daughter Kate's a huge fan of your coops, so that's one of these days she wants to
Thank you,
have one
Kate.
in her backyard. So yeah,
Where does she live?
she's in Jefferson, Ohio, right
Okay.
outside of Geneva.
Okay.
So she's got about 20, probably around 20 chickens. She has a guinea. She's got 3 ducks. The ducks all eat out of this, and we left it. She had one in her coop, and while I was there this week, we left one of them out in her yard the whole time. So that's why we caught the raccoon the other night, and yeah, it works great.
Somebody's asking if the chickens rake out any of the food because they're so worried about rats and.
If it's set too low, the only time we've seen that, we've had a handful of people saying it's wasted feed because they're pulling it out, and we have them add the extensions, and the problem almost completely goes away. So, look at the reviews on our website. You'll see where some people address that on the website. So,
We call that drag out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
we're not
love new
raking
chicken terms.
Yeah, which drag out now.
yeah. So if you elevate it up, it's the next. I wouldn't tell you about this. The next legs where these have extensions. Our next legs are actually going to be telescoping,
Okay.
where they telescope into it. They're not available yet, but so that you could raise it in smaller increments. So we did this because I like the look of the leg all being the same size. and
I
shape.
do too,
Yeah.
and listen, I mean, I don't know if you guys can hear that, I'm like in front of one of my chicken coops. I always love to brag when we shut the door out sounds.
Oh, I love that.
This is solid. I mean, all the way down to the spring mechanism, and it's just so easy and like a good fit.
Yeah.
And
And they're strong legs. too,
strong.
so, yeah, they're strong.
Yes.
It's a 1-inch diameter tube, so.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's asking how we think that the smaller one will fit in the American coop, and I think it'll be perfect in the run if you want.
I think it will be, and then let us know. That's something I'm looking forward to getting inside the chick coops, let people see them, and and our customers come up with some awesome ideas. I can see them, who knows what, coming up with some more ideas of things that might come about and sharing that with us.
Yeah,
This is
I'll be
about
happy.
13 inches diameter across. This one's 19 inches.
Yeah.
So,
And this is nothing. You're going to save so much time because you can put more feed in there. Even if you have a small number of a smaller flock than what most people may think about dumping, 80 pounds of feed into a feeder. And another thing, going back to my bug days, one of the rules was you don't ever let food grains sit around because they all have eggs in it, of SPI or stored product insect. And I've always said that's actually a bonus. If you get some Indian meal moths in there, some weevils or whatever. So even if you have 6 chickens, I don't ever see a problem with the food sitting there even longer, which is going to save you
it's
time.
actually going to store better in there, I think, than the bags.
it does.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because my bags, if they get wet, they get wet. They're
Yeah.
not waterproof, those bags.
Yeah, and it was hot at Katie's the other day, and we felt, and the lid was hot, but the food inside, it was much cooler inside than you would have expected with the lid being pretty warm. So,
Oh, that's
and
good.
it's definitely rain's not going to blow in it because of the lip. So we've got this big overlap here, and so when that sits down on there, I mean, you could hit it with a hose, and you're not going to get water
Yeah.
inside of it. So.
Yeah, I love all the little things that you wouldn't know right away when looking at it. And I think that's important because I I don't know yet, but I would say this is probably one of the most expensive feeders out there. But when you look at the value, and especially if you're thinking about getting into chickens, I always worry that people start looking at like, okay, well, Matt says I need this big coop, but look how expensive it is. Now Matt's saying we need this big expensive feeder. But if you do it right, it pays for itself in the long run, and it becomes the best hobby ever. You can't put a price tag on your health.
I can tell you that I've bought like 3 different feeders. I have 3 feeders, and I can't get the food will be dry or so I'd rather not keep buying feeders. I'd rather have one feeder that works for
Another
everything.
thing is when I justify a large chicken purchase like this, like the automatic door, part of that justification is you don't need a chicken sitter. And if you're paying somebody $60 every time you go on vacation and come check on your chickens and top off food and water, open the door so they can free range, that adds up. And here, you've got not only you're set for vacation, but every day you don't have to do as much, or you're freed up to do as much as you want because they're taken care of. They've got food and water. And if you're distracted, if you're sick, you don't have to go out there.
Yeah, it definitely.
And that's a lot of peace of mind too.
And so, real quick, just another thing I was just thinking about that I'm curious about, and I was hoping we were thinking about going outside and going through the whole process. And Kristen even brought some chickens to test out. But here we are inside the studio.
I can bring the chickens inside the studio.
I know you're dying to, but we probably shouldn't right now. I'm going back and forth between the pole and the legs, and you're mentioning, well, it takes up less space. I don't think, me personally, it would ever make a darn bit of difference as far as space. But one of the things that I'm always thinking about when it comes to these 50-pound bags of feed or 40-pound bags is it can get fatiguing just holding it up. And how great it would be in, like we've done in our hoppers that we've custom built inside our Craftsman coops, is you set it down and you just dump it. I'm just curious now, that probably you'd be able to do the same exact thing, especially with the legs, because it's going to be so much, it's so stable. You can open up that bag, set it on here, and just dump it in, which took like 1-2 seconds, if I remember correctly in that video. And again, you can't really do that with any other feeder. And to me, though, that's kind of important.
Yeah, and that's again the shape and everything and the elevation. We wanted it to be easy to. I like a hinged lid rather than a lid you have to take off and set down. I don't like loose parts.
Yes, because they get lost.
So we wanted a hinged lid and
it stays open.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's hot dip galvanized bolt that we put in here, and all you need is a wrench and to tighten it down, and you're done. So.
Well, hold on. So you just made another good point, and we were hoping to get this right down on the ground and the green screen, this and that. But with the height, which is to here, was what, 39 inches?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure if Ingrid's probably going to share
That's
that.
with one set of extensions. So
One set of
if you add
extensions.
4 inches, you're going to add another 3 inches in height.
Okay, so that would bring it down. I mean, you take, what is this, about 10 inches?
This table's probably 30, so you're up. Yep.
Well, what I'm saying is, that's just another great point, is you're not doing one of these low jobs, you're not all the way up here. It is kind of a great sweet spot. Like when we talk about when you go to clean out your hen house, it's waist height, and it's just a pulling, sweeping motion. Here's another thing, no bending over, you just set it there, and most people would be able to just dump it right in there.
Yeah, and we were experimenting with what height they need to be for the chickens to comfortably reach it. So, and then we're discovering that being a little higher than a little low is a good thing. So,
I also see that as another boredom buster. I often tell people sometimes they have problems with their chickens because they're spoiling them too much. Chickens need to work. You don't ever want them to get bored. And when you're mentioning that they have to work a little bit more for the food, I don't see a problem with that. I know I'm going to catch hell. People are like, oh no, I got customers that are putting air conditioners inside their chicken coops with their silkies. Again, we're trying to make everyone happy, but I think that's good. And especially if they're still free ranging, they need to work. They enjoy going out there and doing those kind of things that chickens do. So I think we're coming up to our hour. My shop's about to get loud. I don't want it to get crazy and then we're not able to say goodbye to everyone. But before we do, if there's any other questions, I'm not sure if there's anything else you got going on over there. We can see the comments coming in. How many viewers do we got? We're hoping to grow the show every single week. So we're steadily getting up there. We were averaging in the high 30s. It looks like now we're averaging in the high 40s. We've definitely gone past 50. And the nice thing is, Tom, just so you know, Ingrid will take this show and it'll be uploaded for everyone and they'll be able to watch it down the road. So again, can't thank everyone enough for taking the time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know, your questions and comments, even if you're watching this after the live show. We definitely want to hear from you. We love I know I don't want to speak for Tom, but when you invent something, I mean, there's just no better feeling than the good or the bad comments,
it's
you know. And
great.
of course, you can't make everyone happy out there. God knows I try, and I thrive on those negative comments or those people that are like being nitpicky. Okay, bring it. Let's figure out what we can do.
Yeah, you
I
can
love
make
that kind of
products better that way.
challenge.
So yeah, customer feedback's real valuable. So
Absolutely.
Tom, how high is the pole height?
it's actually 12 inches, and it puts the feed port 13 inches off the ground.
Okay.
So the black part of the pole is 12 inches.
Now and then the pole goes right into the ground.
We have a stake. I don't have one with me, but it drives into the ground, and then this just slides over
Kind
the
of
collar.
sleeves over
It
it.
sleeves right over it, and then you can take it and pull that out of the ground if you need to move it.
I can
this
see-
one will have a round base too. This will have a metal base, like a stanchion base option. It'll be powder coated, and that way you can set it if you have a hard floor or wood floor or something. You just set it right on the floor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right.
Ingrid, can you add the link and the promo code in the comments if you haven't? Just for convenience.
Well, Kate put the promo code
Okay,
in
great.
there, and this will all be once it's uploaded. I'll put all that information on our
Fantastic.
Awesome. Well, I think again, guys, thank you for watching. Tom, thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks.
much.
Yes, it's
It's been a
great.
pleasure.
Yeah,
I look
appreciate
forward to picking your brain some more.
Yeah, thank you.
And I look forward. So you're gonna give us one, right?
yeah,
For
yeah.
I think Kristen was gonna try it, and she's doing all kinds of testing out at her house with the chickens. I know she's been doing a lot with nesting material, which has been another hot item. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you're not already following us over at Instagram, go follow Carolina Coops at Instagram. If you haven't hit that like button yet at Facebook, please go do that. And of course, always make sure you hit that notification bell. So every time we go live or Carolina Coops does anything over at YouTube, hit that notification bell. And Ingrid, am I missing anything else?
CoopWorxUSA.com.
And of course, yes, CoopWorxUSA.com. Go check out their website. You got a phenomenal website, too. I mean, our website's good, but I tell you, when I said, well, Ingrid's going to have to talk to whoever does your website to do the cross-promotion, he goes, well, I did it.
Well, Kate and I did it. Kate did most of it. It's
Phenomenal
It's
website.
a Shopify site, and we've done the thing with the web developers on our exhibit sites and stuff. But we just wanted control of this, and it took a lot of time. But it's very functional, so we're happy with it. But we're trying to improve on it. So
Well,
we're not web developers.
Yeah, your
so
images and
we're not
pictures
web
are
developers.
wonderful too.
Oh, well, thank you.
It is absolutely wonderful. So go over to CoopWorxUSA.com if you want to purchase one of these great feeders. And, of course, in that promo code to save some money, put in Carolina Coops.
Yep, and follow them on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Oh, that's right. So you have your social media.
Oh yeah, yeah. And we've been reposting your stuff on our
Awesome.
site too. So
Well, I appreciate that.
yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much, and we will see you next Friday. And before I forget, next Friday we got 7 days left until those baby chicks hatch. So that's going to be a fun show, right?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
Everybody enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This was awesome.
Cool. I love seeing your first time reaction, seeing it coming out of the box.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Oh